Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here in our remote studio. And actually, our next guest is, you will recognize the name, Michael Maddox, ASK's Chief Customer and Values Officer, and also host of MBN's Bottom Line IT. Michael, it is so good to have you on. And you are in a makeshift studio as well, I see.
I am. I'm at the ASK North office, which is AKA my cottage.
I love it. It's a great place. Looks like you got nice weather outside too, so that's a good thing. So you have a new tagline, and you also have a new position. You are the Chief Customer and Values Officer. That sounds like a position they made up just so you had a job. Is that what?
Yeah, that could very well be true. Interesting, how that came about. So as listeners may know, if they've heard previous interviews you've done with me on our merger, ASK in April merged with two other companies, Convergence Networks in Portland, Oregon, and Grade A in Ottawa, Ontario, to form the basis of what we're looking to grow into an international platform for managed IT, managed security. So when we did that, we had three visionary type CEOs, right, that came together, right? And the question became, well, how are we going to manage that? And I think it was more of a question on our frontline staff and senior management level is how are we going to manage that? The three of you guys running around. And what we ended up doing is discussing what each of us, consistent with EOS, which we operate under, Entrepreneur Operating System, what each of us are passionate about, what we're good at, what we like to do, and where we can add value. And for me, it's the client experience. It's working with customers. It always has been. And so Chief Client and Values Officer was a natural fit. Our core values go hand in hand with the type of clients that we work with, and they go hand in hand with the type of staff we look to bring on board.
I can't tell you how intelligent that sounds, that you are all doing something you have a passion for that you're good at.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it took us a little while. I mean, we had to get used to how each other operate, although we've known each other for years. Knowing each other and then working together to grow a multinational firm is two different things. So it took us a little while to land on it, but it's been a good landing, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing.
Well, that's a little like saying I've known Bob forever, and today I met his family,
Yeah.
Not quite where, but so this is tricky business. And you are, in fact, a Convergence Networks Company. This is the new branding coming out. Is that correct?
Yeah, to provide some consistency across our different locations, we've added that to our tagline. ASK is the brand that folks in mid-Michigan and all over Michigan know and have trusted for years, so that remains there, but we are part of a larger entity which is called Convergence Networks.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the merger now, and let's start with, how are things going?
Things are going. I mean, there's a lot when you try to merge three companies especially during a pandemic. There's a lot that has to be done. Not only on systems integration, using the same tools, which we're well down a path on, but just policy and practice and operating procedures and role definition. And so there again, I have to tout EOS as being a great framework to help facilitate that. But there's still a lot more work to do, and we're, what I would say, ahead of schedule. And from industry experts, like folks that sit on our board that have been involved in many mergers and acquisitions in our industry, tell me we're well ahead of schedule where we thought we would be, or where most companies are at this point. And I'm excited to see what 2022 will bring, because that's really when we start to get more stability. 2021 has been a year of transition, integration, putting things together, fixing the bugs that come out of it. 2022, I think, is where we can start to hit our stride and launch into new mergers and acquisitions, which is part of our growth path.
So tell me, what you've learned throughout this kind of merger process, and also some milestones that ASK has reached during this merger.
I think as far as what I've learned that and it's not something I didn't know before, but it's reinforced this in my mind that building personal trust with people is critical for any kind of success in business. And that can't be manufactured, and it can't always be done over Teams or Zoom, which is why I personally have spent time traveling to our other locations and meeting people in person and getting to know them. And if it is remote, spending time just getting to know them as people, not just a business meeting, but trying to get to know people. Once that trust is established, then you can begin to see it'll propel you forward in your business endeavors. It was something that maybe I had not thought as much about, because for decades we've known each other here at ASK and had that trust established. So anytime we launched something new, that baseline was there. When you put companies together, especially independent entrepreneurial companies, you've got to establish that first. And so we're spending a lot of time on trust building and just understanding each other. And that was the biggest lesson learned, I think.
All right. Well, listen, next time up, we're going to ask you what's ahead in 2022. So that should be
looking forward to talking
close.
about that. Yeah.
All right. Mike Maddox, ASK's Chief Customer and Values Officer, ASK, a Convergence Network Company. Thanks so much for being with us, my friend. And hey, have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, Chris. Thank you.
All right. We're going to be right back. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network, and I'm Chris Holman.